So I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. The one everyone turns to when they need something, right? But when you need help, it's just crickets. You're carrying everyone's weight, bro. Family, work, everything. They all think you're the strong one. And you are. But I see you, bro. Late at night, wandering. Y yo okay? Who's there for me? See, I know the feeling. The pressure, the guilt, the loneliness. How? Because I was you. See, I came to Canada when I was 15 years old with nothing. And you fast forward to now, I built the life I used to dream about. But the thing is, it wasn't luck. It was hard work. It was faith and getting ruthlessly focused. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I turned that pressure into power so you can do the same. Sound familiar? Well, then keep watching because this is for you, bro. By the end of this, you're going to know that you're not alone and you have a roadmap to go from family burden to bad hombre on a mission. See, growing up Latino, we're taught that familia es todo, right? Family is everything. You know what? I believe that. But man, it feels like a burden sometimes, right? You might be the first person to move abroad or the first person to actually start making real money. And suddenly, boom, you're the family's retirement plan. You got no inheritance coming your way. In fact, you might be the inheritance for your family. Your parents sacrificed to give you a better life. So you feel like you owe them. And now it's your turn to help. And maybe you're sending money back home every month. Maybe you're paying for your abuela's rent, or you put your dreams on hold to bail out a brother who got in trouble. Everybody's telling you that, hey, eres un buen hijo. You're a good son. But inside, you're exhausted. And honestly, you could even be a little resentful. And the thing is, bro, like you're not alone. This is what we call familismo. That deep loyalty to family is beautiful until it crushes you. See, I remember getting calls when I was 19. Mijo, necesitamos para la luz. And I'm like, I barely made rent, pero está bien. So then I'll hang up and thinking, how the hell am I going to do this? Then there's a cultural mindset that comes with it. Because in some of our communities, there's a little disdain for hard labor. You know, like, mijo, vaya a estudiar so you don't end up mixing cement or cleaning floors. And look, our parents, they meant well. But guess what I did when I was a teen in Canada? You know, I worked at 5 o'clock in the morning cleaning airplanes. And it was negative 20 degrees Celsius. Because you got to do what you got to do. And some family didn't get it. You know, why is this kid doing all that work, all that grind? See, there's pride and shame. We're proud to work hard, yet some will look down if you grind too hard or you're doing the wrong job. And that's the irony. The other thing too is like I had an accent, obviously, when I was here at 15 years old, and I still do. And back then I was very insecure every time I opened my mouth because kids laugh at me when I say 3 instead of 3. The last video I just did, I said Porsche instead of porch, and like 5 people messaged me saying, bro, like what the fuck was that? You know? And maybe you know the feeling, right? Being shy, avoiding speaking up because of how you sound. That's like imposter syndrome talking. That voice that says you don't belong. But guess what? You fucking earned a seat at the table. And look, the comments, you talk funny. You say some things funny. What's your nickname? Speedy Gonzalez, they used to call me, right? See, little things like that, they make you shrink. You start thinking, am I not good enough like they are? Well, let me tell you something. That's a fucking lie. Listen, the burden is real. Expected to help our parents financially starting from zero in a new country with no network, no rich family. Feeling like you got to prove yourself twice as much. It's a lot. But here's the flip side. Pressure can create diamonds. That weight can either break you or make you strong. I had to stop seeing responsibilities as a curse and started seeing them as fuel. Now, let's get real about culture. Because I did a video about a brilliant economist named Thomas Sowell, and he said culture isn't just food and music, it's habits. Listen to this, habits. And the successful in any culture are the more aggressive, education-minded, and business-minded. Boom. The guys who prosper are the ones who push, who learn, who hustle with a plan. See, Thomas Sowell pointed out how groups that climbed the ladder had cultures that demanded hard work, self-discipline, and big dreams. Does that sound familiar to you? See, we Latinos, we know about hard work, but sometimes our cultures say, be humble, don't aim too high. Why not aim high? You know, you can respect where you came from and at the same time break every limit that came with it. And guess what? Not many people in my family own a business or went to university or had an education, you know? But success leaves clues. So I became a learner. I saved money even when I had little. I showed up on time. I was late a couple times, but for the most part, I showed up always. I cherry-picked the best of both worlds. My Latino drive and the habits, you know, we weren't always taught. But my abuela always said, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. Hang with winners and you'll be a winner. So I had to make a decision, stick to the same script or rewrite my history. And I chose the latter. And that meant being a little bit cold. Now let's talk about being cold. I'm not talking about being cold-hearted, but cold with your time and energy. Frío calculador. Why? Because time is your currency. You waste it and it'll rob you of your own future. A Cuban friend told me, oye, hacer, el que no hace no tiene. No one's gonna do it for you, man. So, póngase las pilas. Listen, I stopped feeling guilty for saying no. No to video games when I needed to hustle. No to every weekend party. No to weddings. No to birthday parties. No to relationships that drained me. I became cold with distractions and even people who didn't elevate me. And is that easy? Fuck no. I feel like a jerk sometimes, but I realized I can't be there for everyone until I fix my own situation. Like they say on the airplane, put your own oxygen mask first. So I guarded my calendar. I scheduled everything. If it wasn't scheduled or it wasn't serving my goals, adios, no te ofendas. I can't fix your car this Saturday, or whatever it was. And guess what? People started respecting it. Some friends stopped calling when I'd say no to partying. Está bien, no hay problema. Let them. Dime con quién andas. Remember that. Cutting guilt out was key. I reframed it. I'm not abandoning my family. I'm investing in myself so I can uplift them long term. It's a big difference. Your time is gold. Spend it wisely or you're going to lose it forever. Through all of this, I leaned on my faith. See, I'm not here to preach, but I'll tell you, I wouldn't have made it without believing in something bigger. So I pray, Dios mío, dame fuerzas. And I'd work like hell too, because God gave you this mountain because he knows you can't move it. The mountain of bills, the mountain of expectations, the mountain of dreams is yours for a reason. And yes, faith alone isn't enough. You gotta pair it with action. My mom used to say, adiós rogando y con el mazo dando. Pray to God and swing the hammer. So I did. I prayed like it was up to God, but I worked like it was up to me. See, when you combine faith with effort, you become unstoppable. You become a bad hombre. So to carry that mountain and still climb, you need boundaries. You need communication, especially with la familia. See, I had to tell my parents, I love you, I'll help you in an emergency, but I need time to work. I can't be over every weekend. I can't talk to you all the time. I can't send you money like you want me to. It doesn't mean I don't care. You know what I mean? They might take it personal sometimes, but over time, they understood. Now they say, don't bother him. He's working, he's busy, because they respect my boundaries. Also, the other thing that's massive that I recommend you do is sharpen your communication. You have an accent? Work on it. See, never be ashamed. I used to read out loud every night. I watched the news to mimic anchors. I joined Toastmasters. I go to improv classes. I went from mumbling and having a little bit of a stutter to leading meetings. And I own my call center with 30 people. Communication is a weapon. Sharpen it and kill imposter syndrome. That voice saying you don't belong, silence it. Keep a journal where you write your wings, big or small. Read them when you have doubts. And stop comparing yourself to people who had a head start. Mi camino es diferente. My path is different. I'm building my own story. You earned your place in that room. You didn't get there by accident. You fought for it. That hassle, that's your edge. Imposter syndrome? ¿Qué es eso? What the fuck is that? See, we don't have time for that. You're here to take names and break chains. See, quick flashback here. I'm 15, right? I came to Canada with 2 suitcases on a standby ticket from Air Canada. Day 1 of school, I felt like I landed in Mars. I had lunch alone. I was a little sad, and my aunt told me, papi, or mijo, la vida acá no va a ser fácil. Toca darle duro. I did everything. Construction, this, that, landscaping, roofing, security, and I was studying, and I hustled. I went from nothing to leading a team. I bought my first house when I was 27. I started a business, not because I'm special, but because I didn't quit. Look at me, immigrant, minority. I live in a nice neighborhood with doctors and lawyers. I come from nothing, and if I can do it, of course you can. It's not magic. It's all mindset. It was faith and it's also grinding. I became the man I needed to be to give my family the life they deserve. And I haven't even stopped yet. I haven't even peaked yet. So here's the real talk. You have a fire in you, bro. That's why you're still watching. So you're a bad hombre in the making. Use those burdens as fuel. See, no more playing small. That's it. Se acabó. You owe it to the boy you used to be and the man you'll become. To go all the way, the best thing you can do for your family and yourself is become the most fulfilled version of you. They might not get it now, but But one day, when you buy them a house or you live stress-free, they're going to understand. Este es el camino correcto. Ese es el camino verdadero del hombre. You got to set boundaries, protect your time, build your skills, strengthen your faith, and most importantly, never give up, because God gave you this mountain because you can show the world it can be moved. Now go move it. See, if you're one of the bad hombres who want more out of life, more for your family and more for yourself, then join this community. And all you got to do is subscribe to my channel, like the video, leave a comment. And if you see that somebody leaves a comment because they need help, give them your 2 cents. You know, we're a community of strong Latino men. And I'll be honest with you, any man, you don't have to be Latino. But if this hits home, give it a like, share, and drop a comment. Tell me what your mountain is. Because honestly, I read all the comments, all the DMs. So you got this. This is Chris. This is Bad Hombres TV. And I'll see you next time.